The following announcement has been paid for by the New World Order.
Take 3 Wrestling Podcast. Wrestlemania Hungover Edition. It is Thursday, April 6th. It is 3/4 of us are here as I try to move this stupid ass thing that my computer is stuck on. A lot of background noise. Love it. 3/4 of us are here. No Joe Lopez yet. We'll hopefully be making a drive-by soon. Fun show though. Obviously, we're going to recap what happened over the 2 nights of WrestleMania. If you've not already, go back in the feed. You can hear mine and Joe's instant reactions from both shows live from the parking lot of the weird spaceship / jail that is now officially known as SoFi Stadium. That stadium's weird as fuck to look at. Just want you guys to know that.
Where'd you rank it of Mania stadiums you've been to?
Ooh.
Mania events. Top 3?
Top 5.
Okay. You
I
got
don't
11,
know that. Okay, I don't know that I can go 3.
Okay.
What's number 1?
Santa Clara.
The only reason why I will not put Santa Clara at number 1 is because how the fuck do you ruin the Undertaker's entrance by doing it 4:00 in the afternoon? Honestly, just trying to ping through all the locations. Honestly, Jerry World's on a whole nother fucking level. When you look up and see the fucking major scoreboard, that's their Giant Jet Stadium. Been to 2 shows there. That's a pretty solid venue. I'll tell you this much. I'll tell you one stadium that if they never do a WrestleMania ever again, I will be fucking thankful for. You want to guess what stadium that is?
Citrus Bowl.
Arizona.
I didn't go to Arizona.
Oh, okay.
Citrus Bowl. The one in Orlando?
No, actually, I don't mind the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
Tampa?
No, actually, I didn't hate Tampa. This I'll see this venue.
Not Nolans.
Yes, fuck that venue. That venue is hot garbage. It is.
I believe it. It's old as fuck.
It is small. It is fucking old. I'm sorry if there was a fire in the 100 level, everyone would have died because there's nowhere to move. I've never been chest to back with more wrestling fans. It was probably a Joe Lopez fucking wet dream if I've ever fucking heard of one, because he's sitting here and he's putting his ball sack on somebody's back and he's got a ball sack in his ass. Joe, I love you.
Oh, that just sounds like my fucking living nightmare.
You think after Katrina too they would have done a new stadium, but nope.
I look at it from this standpoint. Here's the thing, wrestling fans, if you're one of these fans, please, I beg you.
Wear deodorant. Wear soap.
Please, Joe Lopez will come on this show, and you guys can ask him unknowingly. I packed my deodorant and I packed my cologne both days that we left because we left the hotel at like 11:30 local time. At the latest, I was like, I'm gonna fucking freshen up my armpits. I'm gonna fucking spray some cologne before we walk into that stadium because I am not going to be the stanky ass wrestling fan. If you are the stanky ass wrestling fan, buy some goddamn deodorant, you fucks. Literally, just
at the very least, a spray on cologne that you can spritz on before you go into a venue.
I believe there's a thing that people like to call Axe body spray. I get it. Their smells feel like
I hate Axe body spray, but give me that over human body odor.
That's what I'm saying. Axe body spray, the 2000 UFC afflicted fighter t-shirt douchebag. Give me that stanky ass smell over sweaty ass pits all fucking day.
You would afflicted. Oh my God.
I'll tell you this much. Straight up, New Orleans, I love the city. I'll go back to the city.
I mean, here's the deal too. Like, I feel like the city contributes to it because you're gonna be walking around. It's gonna be hot out. It's gonna be humid out. You're gonna be crammed in that building without open air, and people are just gonna bake in their stink.
Yep. I mean, honestly, I loved and one day I'll sit down with Joe and if we do it on the Thursday edition, or if we do it as a special bonus episode,
It was a bonus episode. Nice.
we'll literally sit down and we'll rank our stadiums in order before next year in Philadelphia, because I feel like that's a big lead into WrestleMania 40. So that'll probably be something. I don't think we'll do it like right now. It'll probably be something middle to end of the year, if I had to guess. But honestly, the open air concept is really cool because the one end zone, there's open airflow. The other end zone is enclosed. So little weird because when the draft gets in, it just sits there in circles. So like 55 degrees and then, dropping into the upper 40s at the time that Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes went on. I wore shorts to both nights, but my legs definitely started to lock up from not being used to the cold about halfway through both main events. So,
cold,
but I'll say, and then we'll get into the show. Obviously, tonight's show, the fallout of WrestleMania, the WWE sale, which we'll get into in a second. We have the brackets over here. We'll get through all that stuff. But the stadium, like, I think they'll end up back there sooner rather than later.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I still think Minnesota's on the short list. Obviously, Philly's getting next year's. What I'll say is pack layers for that show, because I'll tell you, in a open air stadium, I was getting chilly.
Here's the deal, Mike. Today, here we're 4 days removed. It was 80 degrees.
That's really? What I'm saying. It's so bipolar. It's ridiculous how bipolar the weather is across the country, because it's not just you guys. It's here.
It's currently 61. So I mean,
if it was 61 going into,
you're gonna cool off.
Sure, but 61 going into the main event.
80 degrees today. Now tomorrow, 58.
That's what I'm saying. It's so weird.
Yeah.
If you're giving me 80 and 61, and you're giving me 61 at main event time, I'm more than content with all of that. So, but I would just say, just be ready for it, because the weather somehow is bipolar. One day it's one way, one day it's the next way.
So we got listen to the next 10 days.
Okay.
Because like I said, 80 today, 57, 55, 61, 64, 73, 76, 78, 81, 79, 73, 67, 65, 67, 65.
All highs, huh?
Well, those are the highs.
I mean, I'll take all of those for the start of a WrestleMania, knowing that the lows are probably going to be in the upper 40s. Like, 40, I'm not opposed to it.
60s.
I'm not opposed to it, because to me, that's jeans and a fucking hoodie if I really need one. Like, I don't care. Joe was sitting in the car driving back from night 2 going, I need to go get a winter coat for fucking Philadelphia. And I was like, or you just need to go make sure you're not fucking, iron deficient, but whatever.
You're going to need, that too, but you're going to need to pack for both ways.
Yes. You're going to have to pack shorts, you're going to have to pack pants, you're going to have to pack everything. So yeah, we're bringing a little bit of extra luggage on that fucking trip, it looks like. Speaking of extra luggage, I did a lot of damage in the greater Los Angeles area this weekend. Let's see. I brought home 10 new Funkos, 2 of the soda can, the mini pops, couple of t-shirt. I bought home 3 wrestling t-shirts, including this one that I'm wearing right now that you guys will get the
ones.
I bought the Tribute to the Troop version on Friday when we went to the Superstore, and then we went to night 1. They had the whiteout shirts that
white one is noise.
We bought the white ones. We wore those on Sunday.
I won't buy the white one because I'll look like a goddamn boat sail, but that one is fucking clean, man.
So for those of you who follow along at home, we did match night 2. We did not match night number 1 because Joe only bought the one wrestling shirt. I bought the WrestleMania 39 Charger edition because fuck the LA Rams beating the Bengals in the Super Bowl, not wearing fucking Ram colors. Go fuck yourself. So I went Chargers, the powder blue with the white with the yellow trim, because I also like that color combination a lot better anyways. So I wore that on Saturday, wore the We the One shirt on Sunday. Bought a couple of Dodgers stuff, bought a UCLA shirt, baseball hat. So yeah, I did some heavy damage this weekend. Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair Funkos led the way for the edition of the wrestling ones. I don't know where Carol put them. I'll show them out on next week's show. All right. Enough rant. Saturday or Sunday night or Sunday morning, whatever day it was, Endeavor. Is Endeavor Media or like what is
just Endeavor.
Endeavor.
No. Artist formerly known as Endeavor, ? Okay, you guys talked about it a little bit on 3CT. For those of you that are not avid listeners there, please check them out, 3ct.com. You guys can check out the link tree on Jim's social medias. Is it a merger or did they buy
Right. So yeah, this is where a lot of the mucky muck
gray lines
in terms of verbiage plays in, but this is from the official announcement that was posted to corporate.wwe.com and was all over the world. Endeavor announces UFC and WWE to form a $21+ billion global live sports and entertainment company. This was on Monday. Endeavor Group Holdings Incorporated and World Wrestling Entertainment Incorporated today announced they have signed a definitive agreement to form a new publicly listed company consisting of two iconic, complementary global sports and entertainment brands, UFC and WWE. Upon close, Endeavor will hold a 51% controlling interest in the new company, and existing WWE shareholders will hold a 49% interest in the new company. The new company will be led by Ari Emanuel, who will be Chief Executive Officer. He will also continue in his role as CEO of Endeavor. Vince McMahon will be Executive Chairman of the board. Mark Shapiro will be President and Chief Operating Officer of both Endeavor and the new company. Dana White will continue in his role as President of UFC. Nick Khan will serve as President of WWE. The board of directors will consist of 11 members who will be appointed at a later date, 6 who will be appointed by Endeavor, 5 approved and appointed by WWE. So what this is this is a merger. Now, in the details among us, the WWE was valued at $9.3 billion. The UFC somewhere around $12.6 billion. Together, that is where they get the 21 billion.
How are they projecting UFC to be more profitable? So confused by this situation.
Well, no, I think it's not necessarily that they are more profitable; it's their value. So I think probably because I would imagine it has to do. And again, I am no legal expert, so this is just.
I'm just saying with the multi-trillion-dollar deal that they have with fucking the cock. I just don't know how WWE.
Yeah, that doesn't make
sense. UFC
or Fox
has their deal with. They have deals with Fox. They also have a
ESPN Plus,
the ESPN deal. So to me, that one may be worth more because of the pay-per-view model and setup. And again, I don't know. I don't know how that is all considered.
Yeah, it's above that's above our pay grade.
Well, above our pay grade, but yeah, WWE was valued. And again, somebody tried to correct me on Twitter earlier about it because they're like, WWE wasn't sold. No, but they were valued at 9.3.
I'm just it's what confuses
within if they were sold, it would they valued within the merger at 9 point whatever billion.
So what confuses me is that Ari is the head in chief. He is the head of the table. He is the Roman Reigns of this.
Correct.
But he's also the head of Endeavor. Isn't Endeavor and Endeavor the same thing? Like, so are we calling one of them Endeavor and one of them Endeavor? Like it's the maximum male models? I'm so confused.
So because
it just Massey and Mace. Like, what are we doing?
In Endeavor, and maybe that's where the 12 point whatever. It's not just UFC because Endeavor is broader than just UFC. Endeavor bought UFC.
That's what I'm saying. So if
Endeavor
UFC
Group Holdings is a multiple, they own multiple like business.
So that's where that's I guess where my confusion is because there's Endeavor and then there's this $21.9 billion company called Endeavor. Like it's this,
okay. So currently, like whenever there is a merger, the new company is kind of known as Newco. So that's kind of like when this actually formed. Like for now, this merger is known as Newco because
it's not finalized.
It's not finalized. They don't know what it is going to be called yet. However,
so Endeavor is still Endeavor.
Endeavor
is still
Endeavor.
WWE.
Endeavor will still be Endeavor. But yeah, this Newco
Yes.
is this joint venture of UFC and WWE.
So Endeavor Sports, and
Sure.
then Endeavor, like that's I guess that's the way I'll word it, or Endeavor Entertainment, because while UFC is a sport, it's all about the lead up to the fights as much as it is the fights. So Endeavor Entertainment is I guess the way that I'll word it moving forward. Double E, no relation to Triple H. So we talked a little bit before Jim hit the record button here. Myself and Joe, during our drive around town on Monday before our flight out, as more and more information about the sale started to come out, we talked and we were like, to know that you're making this decision and to announce it the same weekend as your biggest event of the year. I don't think that this was as much as, and Jim said that as much as there was a company up into the 11th hour, I don't necessarily know that I think that Vince didn't already kind of know that this is the route that they were going. Because it's just weird that you do it the night before the biggest show of your calendar year, with the biggest main event that you could have over the last probably 3 or 4 years in Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, and you decide to take the momentum from that of announcing the sale that morning. Just seemed very. I'm not gonna question Vince. I'm not gonna be that fan, but it just seemed very weird.
I mean, here's the deal: if you are selling your house, if you are selling your car, like on the free market, if you have a handshake deal in place, but nothing is signed, and at the 11th hour somebody comes in and says, I want to give you like say your house, say you're going in at $350,000, and somebody comes in the night before you're about to have a meeting and sign your initial agreement. Somebody says, I want to give you $400,000 for your house, and you go, okay, let's do that. You know what I mean?
I'm just saying, if they would have made this announcement Monday morning, if they would have made this announcement Wednesday night before Dynamite went on the air, it's just the question, I guess, is coming off of the main event that you had on night one, knowing that you have this big show for night two, and then you're like, you know what? In the middle of the night, it's like the Baltimore Colts just decide that they're going to leave Baltimore and move to Indianapolis. We packed the truck, and we decided that we were going to go ahead and we're just going to move on with our lives. And then we're going to figure out what the next step is after we've already made the decision. So it was just kind of like weird how it just happened, just kind of like popped up. I mean, it is what it is. It was going to be announced regardless. And I don't know if this is Endeavor saying, hey, announce it, as quickly as possible.
Why wouldn't you announce it? I mean, because here's the deal, along with the announcement of this Endeavor deal, WWE also released a press release detailing how this was the most successful WrestleMania of all time. Across social platforms, it came with over 500 million views, 11 million hours of video consumed over 2 days, which is a 42% increase over last year. Night two surpassed the existing global viewership record by 33%, just at 1 day after night one surpassed the existing global viewership record by 28%. WrestleMania 39 generated a gain of more than $21.6 million, breaking the previous record by 27%. So, I mean, why, if you have this deal in place, and yeah, it was probably going into the weekend, it was probably kind of a wink, wink, nudge, nudge sort of a situation. But again, you don't, because I think Tim even told us that there was some rumblings on Saturday of sale talk.
Yeah, I heard the news after night one, actually, to be honest with you.
I think that's when it started. There was more. It was really starting to bubble to the surface.
Right.
There was nothing in place, because nothing is actually in place until it's formally announced.
Right.
Because remember, 9 months ago, we had a deal formally in place with the Saudis. Remember that night? Like a fucking Wednesday night in
fun
July.
times. Remember those days? Remember those nights?
Like, so, when I start to see the the wrestling news sites of the world reporting, quote unquote, on things.
Not you, Sean Ross ass.
Yeah. No, fuck that guy too. But the
What do you do now?
What didn't he do?
He's a fucking prick. He's
a prick though. He's a prick though.
Like seriously, softer than fucking vanilla pudding. He really fucking is. But anyway, it's not about him. But yeah, like I didn't believe anything until it really started to break Monday morning when we woke up and it was hitting actual news.
Yeah.
I got to work, and the first thing I see at work is the TV's on CNBC, and I see fucking Vince McMahon with a fucking weird mustache. Like,
holy hell, what a fucking
like,
creepy
oh
weirdo
yeah, this is real.
Ask you a question.
Yeah.
And he's like puffy and half plastic now. He's
looks like Raul Julia.
He is the Bob Barker of professional wrestling,
God,
being held together with duct tape and super glue.
He's fucking terrifying.
A horrible human being.
That dude is Teflon, bro. Sorry.
All right,
Yeah,
so
he is. What? He's a fucking billionaire and CEO of a huge company. Of course, he's Teflon.
Yeah,
all of them are.
And hey, by the way, Vince, we need you to go take a couple months off, and then you're gonna get a pay raise and a promotion.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck.
Hey, can we not basically just be like, this is fucking people literally with money just being like, fuck your American dream. Not only did I get away with it, I paid people off and I just got a pay raise. How about you guys go fuck yourself?
Yeah, and a promotion.
Literally.
Because he used to just be executive chairman of WWE. Now he's executive chairman of Newco.
Yeah, exactly. Endeavor Entertainment.
TBA.
Unbelievable. Yeah. All right. So like we kind of touched on the sale stuff because obviously we're gonna get the WrestleMania and the fallout from that. But the question I posed to the 3CT guys was this. I was like what was your reaction to the news? Because like and because to me I heard it and I went, okay, well, it wasn't the Saudis, so that's good. We don't have to like make that moral decision. Now you're still making moral decisions, but we make them every day. I have an iPhone. That's even a moral decision, right?
Yeah.
Like that it was probably assembled by child labor. Like I'm not like as gross as it is. Like we got to be honest about what it is. And that's what I've always said, even with the WWE doing shows in Saudi Arabia. I was like, first off, look, yeah, it's gross. They make a business deal with the Saudis, but if you really start digging into how many companies you use on a daily basis, you're gonna run out of shit real quick.
Yep.
But that doesn't make it okay. It just makes it that's reality. But I'm like, okay, so it's now with the Saudis, that's a good thing. We don't have to go down that road. With the exception of maybe NBC Universal and Disney. I think this is the best case scenario. And it may even be the best case scenario, period. Because you look at UFC again, UFC has been owned by Endeavor for a couple of years now. UFC operates basically the same as UFC did before. Like if you didn't know, you probably wouldn't know that UFC was owned by Endeavor, right?
Yeah, until like last week.
Yeah,
no idea.
I mean, I knew because I followed up UFC to literally know of the sale a couple years ago, but literally,
right. Honestly, I didn't know.
To the common fan, they're not going to know that Endeavor bought it when I saw the fajitas.
Yeah, when I saw the news of the merger, I was like, oh, like at first I was like, oh, so they're buying UFC and WWE.
Not that they're already
that they're already owned by Endeavor, and then I read the press release, and I was like, oh, okay.
I mean, I first heard a name in Endeavor like late last year when this whole thing started, but like companies vouching for the services, and Eric Bischoff brought up Endeavor a couple times on this podcast. I'm like, oh, okay, so
yeah, like to me, I've said for a while that the WWE, wherever they end up, I think the best place for them to end up will be somewhere, and I thought NBC Universal and Disney were going to be the same way. Just give them just have an ownership that just goes, keep doing what you're doing. They're printing money right now.
Yes,
they've been printing money for the last 4 or 5 years. So why would you mess up your meal cart, right?
So Endeavor has run UFC been UFC for how many years now, Mike? About at least 5 years? A little less?
No.
A little more than that?
I want to say it's like 3 or 4. I don't think it's been 5 years yet.
Now, I'm more of a casual fan. You a little more diehard. Nothing's changed, right? With the product, nothing has been significant.
I mean, from the standpoint of they still put on cards and they still have fighters, no. I mean, the fighters themselves aren't as entertaining as they were 4 or 5 years ago when the Conor McGregors of the world were running around throwing full cans of Monster Energy drinks at people. But I mean, that's also because, people aren't like him. It is what
Sure.
it is. But they
An
still
anomaly.
put on good cards. They still put on great shows. They still have guys that get in there and bang, and they're. I would say that they've expanded more from a niche audience to more of a mainstream thing since Endeavor / the deal with ESPN.
Okay.
But I think those two could probably go hand in hand. So I mean, I look at it from the standpoint, nothing has really changed per se. Maybe fighters demanding more or less has changed, because you don't have the 37-year-old John Jones is like the best fighter you have right now for like promos and draws.
Right.
Because Connor's gone, Khabib's gone, Ronda Rousey's in wrestling now.
So what you're saying is there's a chance we don't get fucking 90-year-old Bill Goldberg coming back and
please don't come back.
lambasting the entire wrestling world.
No, but you do get the potential for potentially somebody who's under contract with UFC. Looking at you, Conor McGregor, to become part of the WWE in some way, shape, or form.
That's fine.
Is
They
it?
make it work. They make it work.
I don't fucking need it though.
Right, exactly.
Here's the thing, because I was not arguing. I was going back and forth with somebody on Twitter that kind of said something like that, and I was like, I have literally zero interest in seeing Conor McGregor in WWE. I'm not a UFC guy. If I wanted to be a UFC guy, I'd go watch UFC. If I was a boxing guy, I'd go watch boxing.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, well, so you don't want crossover? I'm like, actually, I don't. I watch wrestling for wrestling. Here's the thing.
If Conor McGregor puts in the work and has as good of matches as Logan Paul, then what?
Sure. Then I'm fine. But I don't know enough about the guy to say this definitively either way, but I don't know if he will be on that level. It's hard to be.
I'll say this: I trust WWE to do it right way. It did with Bad Bunny. It did with fucking Logan Paul. I mean,
I just look at it from this standpoint. I think comparing the 3 names that Ernest just put up there,
right?
I think Conor McGregor gives you the best shot of having the best matches out of the 3 of them because he's an athlete. I get it. He's got to learn the moves and all that stuff. We got a musician and a guy who is more or less known because he did stupid ass YouTube clips that everybody fucking fell in love with. Hello, TikTok. Conor McGregor is a guy, if he wants to do it, I think he could be huge. And here's the thing. Maybe he doesn't become a wrestler. Maybe he becomes the mouthpiece for Imperium. He's fucking Irish. They're fucking from the UK. Maybe him and Drew become some sort of thing, and it's the new Dangerous Alliance, and he's going to sit there and cut promos against Heyman. Just the back and forth could be entertaining. I don't need him to go out there and have 25 matches a year and be this in-ring competitor. But every once in a while, if he comes out and cuts a promo against somebody and they have a match, kind of a Logan Paul-esque, wouldn't be opposed to it. No, I don't think he needs to be an everyday member of the roster. I don't think you need crossover on every week episode of Monday Night Raw. Right. Like that, I don't think you need. Yeah. But I mean, I think
I'll say this though:
every once in a while,
he's already an athlete, and he can do a promo.
Every once in a while isn't a bad thing.
Yeah, and I mean,
oversaturating it is a problem.
Right. Here's what I was saying too, though, is like I have zero interest in it. Am I well aware of the fact that because of this new deal that it's probably coming? Sure. And there's nothing I can do to stop it. There's nothing I can do to stop Vince McMahon coming back. There's nothing I can do to stop Logan Paul and Jake Paul being in wrestling matches and Bad Bunny. So like, I'm here for the ride either way. Like, I couldn't stop Brock Lesnar versus Omos. It ended up being better than I expected, and it was less than 5 minutes.
Thank
That's
God.
what he said. So like,
trust the process.
Like, you know what I mean? Like,
it's not we'll get to the process.
Stop me from watching. The thing that's going to stop me from watching is if the product as a whole would get so bad that I'm just like, I'm out, man. I'm 38 fucking years old. I don't need to invest my time in something I don't enjoy.
How old are you now?
Well, I'll be 38 in July.
I would say.
So I guess the question here, and then we can go back to the
Mania.
no, because you mentioned what we thought about. Honestly, NBC Universal was the only other company that I thought that they could go to that they had a fighting chance.
Oh,
I think Disney would have tried to PG it too much. Yes, they may have created a Disneyland WWE World or whatever the fuck.
God, I'm mad that we're gonna miss out on that.
But I feel like they would have tried to PG it way too much and tone down a lot of things. Where Endeavor's just going to kind of let them do their thing. Same, I think NBC Universal would have done the same thing too, because they already know what they're getting. I think Disney would have tried to come in and change too much, and I think that would have hampered things. My immediate reaction was, fuck, this means Vince is going to be back in control of creative in some way, shape, or form. Wasn't thrilled about that. But when I look at it, I do think it's the best case scenario for them, because I think Endeavor is just going to throw their hands up and say, you've done this for 50 years. You know it a lot better than I do. Why am I going to sit here and tell you how to do it? So, hashtag trust the process.
Right.
Now, sitting here looking at things, I'm trying to remember my train of thought. Fuck. God damn it. I've been hitting the head way too many times. Well,
to my Vince?
No, not necessarily. It wasn't necessarily Vince. I was trying to remember where I was going with, because I was going to say, and then I had a point and I just fucking lost it.
And then,
no, I didn't.
But yeah, it's, and here's one thing, as you were talking about, like if we thought Disney would potentially make it like 2 PG, if for people that want to see more of an edgier product, I think this is probably your best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Now, what I will say to that is, I think it also depends, because I know Nick Khan was on, may have been when he was on with Stephen A. Smith. It was on one of the interviews I saw with Nick Khan over the weekend, as he brought up how the TV rights deals, both with Fox and NBC, Universal USA Network, are coming due, I think, this year, maybe next year. So like that's going to be the other proof in the pudding too, is in terms of where do those do they just re-up with Fox, and do they re-up with NBC Universal, or do they go elsewhere? But depending where they end up, you could end up seeing at least with a cable TV product, a more edgier product as well. So there's going to be a lot of moving parts. And again, as of right now, this isn't even finalized. Like this is one of those things, as there's a lot of government checking that goes into these publicly traded company mergers that could potentially end up in this deal not going through. So this is just a tentative deal. So everybody's that was like, look how everything changed on the first day of the new. No, that's not how this stuff works.
No, that was them making the mistake of letting Vince sit in the big chair and, not putting him on the fucking bus back to fucking Leisureville.
So we touched on this on 3CT as well. I don't know that all of what happened Monday on Raw had to do with just Vince, quote unquote, being back in the chair. I think
seems too easy.
I think the announcement in the morning, you had a company meeting in the afternoon, because obviously there's going to be a lot of questions with people in that building. I think there was probably a lot of moving parts, even more so than you have normally on a Raw after Mania. And so, and I also think that I don't 100% believe that Vince hasn't been part of the creative process for months.
Oh, I would wholeheartely agree with that decision.
Yeah. So is he,
with that thought, not
more
that decision.
And yeah, look, I don't know. I also don't deny that he came in with his his big nut strutting out because of the deal on Monday. I think tomorrow night is going to be a much bigger tell of where we are.
So my takeaway, and we talked about this in the group chat, Raw after WrestleMania is normally to the fans this big thing. The last 4 of them have been flat out god awful. There's not been anything in the last 4 of these that has been
Nothing stood out. No.
monumental, life-changing events like it used to be. If this show happened in the middle of June in Topeka, Kansas, it would be a normal Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that people sitting at home put this main event on steroids every year literally made this show feel worse than it actually was.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's WWE's own fault.
Correct, because they've billed this as a part of the weekend.
Yeah.
Rather than just being Monday Night Raw, it's always the Raw after WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did a fucking network documentary on it.
Well, that was whenever they were actually doing things. But looking at what were your options? Like, what could you have really have done that you didn't do? You didn't debut Braun Breaker because Braun Breaker is going to go fight Carmelo Hayes as a heel now. You saw that on Tuesday.
Yeah.
Randy Orton, probably still not medically cleared.
Mm-hmm.
You brought back Matt Riddle. You had Brock Lesnar take somebody out. What he normally does the Monday after WrestleMania. John Cena, not there. What the fuck else could you have done? FTR is staying in fucking AEW after last night.
Mm-hmm.
What is the okay wrestling fans?
Jay White reportedly signed with AEW.
He debuted last night.
Even he debuted last night, but apparently his deal was already signed last week. So everybody going, well, he saw what happened on Monday and he said, I'm out. No,
he was already under contract
today. He was signed middle of last week with AEW, so he wasn't even in the conversation.
So when you look at it, keyboard warriors, this is a question for you. Send all your hate tweets at They Call Me Burn, at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. Either one, I'll find them. I run both. What could they have done differently? Sure, Omos versus Elias wasn't great. Sure, Cody getting taken out by Brock Lesnar because, Clubber Lang and fucking Apollo Creed both beat the shit out of Rocky at one point. At the end of the day, what else could they have done that was different? There wasn't a lot that they could have done. There wasn't, because you don't think they want to bring Randy Orton?
The Creed brothers.
I'm sorry. The real issue here is that fucking people, honestly, they shouldn't have fucking said Triple H was going to start the show. Because people came out and literally thought it was going to be more than Together Forever, than now the song and dance that we got to open the show. People truly thought he was going to come out and announce something monumental. Myself and Joe had the conversation. Hey, are they just going to hand Roman Reigns one fucking big ass gold belt and be like, stop carrying around 2 titles because we ain't going to split them up anymore? And then they were going to pull the big gold belt out and be like, and this is the new fucking Raw title tournament, with culminating at Backlash, whatever.
Isn't that situation? Because I've been critical of wrestling fans in the past too, that create things in their own head, and they claim that like the WWE oversold them. So like WWE only and again, I don't think WWE is 100% blameless here, but like all they said was Triple H is opening Raw.
Can you hit the news sounder?
Oh, we got breaking news.
I think I know where he's going here.
As reported by Huddle Up Sports Inc., Triple H, what do you guys think Triple H's announcement is going to be? Quote, end quote, from CEO and founder of Huddle Up Incorporated, James Neese.
What's that?
You literally sent that tweet to us. What do you think Triple H's announcement is going to be?
Yeah.
So literally, myself and Joe are sitting in California.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess people are going to hypothesize, but like, people also have to like curb expect, like they can't like, I get we're gonna do that. We'll be like, what's it gonna be about? Because it does create, but I'm not gonna sit there and go, oh my god, they're definitely doing this. And I think some wrestling fans do that.
100%
to their own detriment.
I personally thought that because they're never breaking the titles up. I just thought they were just going to hand Roman one title and be like, this is the new Universal Heavyweight Championship. Like, I literally thought that's what the announcement was going to be. It was going to be, I'll take those 2 from you, take this big gold one, the WWE title with the gold, kind of like Snoop Dogg's golden title or whatever. I just thought there was going to be a new title that was going to be handed to Roman Reigns, that this is the new one singular title. Stop carrying around both of them because we're not breaking them up. That's what I truly thought the announcement was going to be.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was. And then honestly, if it was to talk about the sale, I thought that was also in play. Like, I didn't think he was going to come out and be like, so, hey, by the way, Vince is back in charge. Fuck it. I'm out. I wasn't.
When he came out and started doing his thank you tour, I was like, is this motherfucker going home? Like,
is he going to go join Steph? Is he stepping down tomorrow? And like,
I got like real worried there for a second. Then he was be like, thank you. I quit. Fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah.
And I'm like sitting there going, oh, we're in big trouble now.
Maybe
they gave him a live mic. Oh boy.
Maybe do a cut and paste of what we did Monday on Friday. I guess I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah,
but.
I mean,
to do the same song and dance would be worse. At this point, I almost feel like his speech would be like, "We've heard how you guys feel. We know what's going on.
We're not going anywhere.
Just trust us. Just go out there and talk to them like people. Don't sit there and be like, don't give me the song and dance and the spit and water and being like, we're gonna run through a wall for you. Like, we know how you guys feel.
The only concern people have is Vince's involvement now. Because we hear now.
I don't think that's the only concern people have.
I think that's
the main one.
No. See, but that problem is it a Vince problem or is it a creative problem? Because you can be mad that Vince McMahon is back in power because he's a misogynistic fucking asshole. But are you worried that
I think it's a Vince running creative problem?
Right.
So
it's a creative problem.
Okay. That's the point. The same people that have been writing creative are going to be in that room writing creative.
And also,
Vince McMahon has probably had final say over everything, even while he wasn't there, because guess what, motherfuckers? He still was the president of the company.
And the guy running creative is his son-in-law.
Yeah. Trust me, guys.
They've talked. Triple H has said it in pay-per-view press conferences.
Yes.
He's confirmed that he's talked to Vince about creative.
Yeah, this isn't Major League Baseball where Fernando Tatis gets suspended 80 games and he can't be at Padres games right now talking to his teammates. Literally, They've said about it. Like, they've said that, so is the problem the fact that you guys can't put two and two together because Vince McMahon is now going to sit in the chair either that Triple H was sitting in that was his or the one next to him, and the two of them are going to be working on this shit together? Because at the end of the day, nothing has changed. The people that are writing creative are still fucking writing creative. Nobody's gotten fired.
And also, since SummerSlam, every time there's a angle, a booking decision, anything that wrestling fans don't like, what's everybody? Oh, Vince must be back in charge. Like, people will assume that it's bad because they perceive it to be run by Vince.
It's easy to throw the blame on someone that they don't think is there.
People also forget that Judgment Day started
with Vince McMahon
in charge. Right. This bloodline run,
Vince in charge
for the majority of it. Vince in charge. Like, Austin, the greatest moment in one of the best WrestleManias ever last year, Austin versus Kevin Owens. Vince McMahon was in charge. The Yes Movement, Vince McMahon was in charge. The Heist of the Century, Vince McMahon was in charge.
Pipe bomb.
The pipe bomb, Vince McMahon was in charge. Because guess what? It was a work.
Oh yeah.
Like, people, yes. Is Vince out of touch? Sure. Is Vince does
he make some questionable life decisions? Yes.
Absolutely. But like, we also need to stop. Not everything creative wise that Vince does is bad. Not everything that Triple H does creative wise is great. Okay. Like,
correct.
We need to stop with the big blankets here.
We're gonna talk about some of them right now.
Yeah. Let's look towards WrestleMania, unless either of you guys have any other thoughts.
No, I think we've hammered out the sale. There will be more that comes up over the next couple weeks. So I think this is almost an evergreen topic that we'll talk about multiple times leading into the actual sale. So
there's going to be a lot to
trust me, I'm going to re-listen to this episode. And I'm going to remember my question that I was going to say, and I'm going to write it down to bring to next week. So just be ready for that.
Let's look at Mania. Obviously, we're not going to go match by match, blow by blow, because we don't have the time for that.
No, but can I start with something though about the shows as someone who was there? Could they have picked any two worst opening matches? I truly felt like Cena never got out of fucking second gear.
No.
And I get it. Brock Lesnar and Omos was fun. It was a 5-minute match. But goddamn, dude, you burnt through 2 matches that you could have put somewhere later in the show to give the crowd a fucking break in the first 2 matches. Because you went Brock, Omos, and then you went with the women's fucking fatal 4-way. You went through a 5-minute match and a goddamn women's tag match to start fucking night 2.
All right, so let's start at night 1. Given that we know what matches were on night 1, what would you have started with?
I would have started with the women's title match. Or I would have started with Logan Paul and Seth Rollins, like I said.
Okay, I like that one better.
That one better. Yeah.
I mean, I said on the show I would have started with Logan Paul and Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I like the women's match being in that second to last spot because
I loved it.
Here's the problem with California WrestleManias is I don't looking at it now, I don't like Rhea Ripley and Charlotte being in daylight.
Yeah, I hated.
Can we just stop doing and the problem is there's no closed dome stadiums on the West Coast.
Isn't SoFi optional?
Well, no, it has
roof. It's got that open and
it's like a window roof.
Okay.
Yeah, and the problem is they put the entrance stage right at the window. They didn't put it on the other side because then the fucking smoke from the fireworks can't get out.
Yeah. So but even the ceiling itself is like glass.
Yeah.
Right.
So you're gonna get so it's daylight either way, and that's the problem because
I mean Safeco we could put it in Seattle.
Yeah, well, that's true. They did one there before.
19.
You're gonna get a little bit of daylight, but at least it's covered.
Yeah, but you can cover it.
Because anytime you do something on the West Coast, you're not gonna be able to bump it later in the day because you're already starting at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
So you can't go later.
Yeah, you can't go 7 o'clock West Coast time because then
your only other option would be to move Mania up into mid-March, so that you get it before the time savings.
Right.
But yeah, that's more of an aesthetic thing. So yeah, I think Seth and Logan in that spot. I wouldn't. Yeah, it was weird. That match, and I don't know if it's Cena
ring rust or
I think that may have been
nerves. I don't know what it was.
He looked old. He looked old too. Like really.
He is old.
I know. It's just weird.
It's not even that he looked old, man. Could he have chipped in for a little bit of spray tan?
Yeah, we said that whenever he was running out.
That motherfucker made Sheamus look dark. Seriously, I was sitting there watching that going it's bad enough motherfucker's got hair, he's got deflated muscles, and
a bald spot the size of fucking Texas in the back of his head.
So white. That's me saying this.
Yeah.
I'm fucking whiter than white.
This is true.
Whiter than rice.
This is true.
Holy hell, John. Well, you got the money.
I mean, unless the movie role he's about to play in means he's got to be whiter than the fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. What the fuck, dude? Holy shit!
I'm not asking him to look like AEW wrestlers.
You're not asking him to look like a fucking fitness model.
So it wasn't a bad match. It just didn't.
No, it wasn't.
It was never climax. It
didn't hit
3 stars, maybe.
No, I wouldn't even give it 3 stars.
2.5 stars.
There. Wouldn't even give it 3 stars.
Oh wow, that bad, huh?
Honestly, the best part of the match was John Cena with the Make-A-Wish kids before the bell rang.
Oh.
The funniest part was that he lost. No. In terms of night 2, I actually loved Lesnar and Omos in the open spot.
I didn't hate the match. The match was what it was supposed to be. I'm not mad at the match. Then you have to put something in the 2 spot that's going to garner attention.
From that night,
you went from that to the women's fatal 4-way.
The only match I would have considered.
You went from a 5-minute. Oh shit! He hit him with the F5. to a match that everyone was just waiting for it to fucking.
The only match I would consider putting night to win the triple threat IC title match. That's it.
I would have opened with that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because you're getting a banger off rip, and then I would have put Brock Omos. I would have just flipped those two matches.
And Mikey, in fact, I thought that would have been the first match until you said, "Oh, there's Omos and Brock." Like, oh shit, okay.
I mean,
I liked Omos and Brock in that spot because, like, again, you're in and out quick. Lesnar comes in the ring like a ball of fire. He fucking ends up chucking Omos a few times. Omos looked good.
I'm not disagreeing with you, but as someone who was there, I had to hold my piss for as long as possible because there was nothing at the tail end of the show that was missable.
It's true.
The Snoop Dogg Shane McMahon part was the only fucking part of this entire second show after.
You all right, girl?
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Literally was the only part of the show that was missable. Basically the last half of the show.
Well, I would have went
because they didn't even really have any long video packages that you could have hoped to God you ran to and made it back for entrances.
I would have went kept Lesnar Omos 1. I would have put the IC title in the 2 spot.
Sure. That was the case, fine, because but you went
because then you settle in for a longer man. I would have given it more than 16 minutes.
Correct.
Match of your candidate for the record.
Oh my God, yeah. I know we're early, but I have a hard time seeing
big meaty man
was going to knock it out of my top 5. That's an all-time Mania match, man. That was so good. That was.
I have to go back and watch it with commentary.
Can I just say though, this Mania, this 4 days of movement, easily top 5 all time for me. I can say that. I feel comfortable saying that.
Man, that's
even without even with it not cooking for a little while.
Here's what I'm going to say to that. Okay, there are 5 really, 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 really good matches. There are 3 or 4 really, really, really good moments. But man, is there just some like we had an opportunity to do some things and we didn't. That I don't necessarily know that I can pull the trigger and put in the top 5. Like, honestly, the men's fatal 4-way match was better than fucking it had any goddamn right to be.
From night 1, right?
And that match, I'll tell you right now, is in my top 5 from WrestleMania this year.
You mean the triple threat?
The
fatal 4-way?
The fatal 4-way men's showcase match.
Right. From that one. Right. That was really good. A lot of fun, too. A lot of fun.
Both nights, my top 5 in no particular order. Tag title match, Cody Roman, that match, the Intercontinental title match, and then the Hell in a Cell.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
in no particular order. Oh, I'm sorry. Rhea Charlotte, not the Hell in a Cell. Sorry. Take Hell in a Cell out. Rhea Charlotte in the top 5.
Unfortunately, I think the Hell in a Cell got hurt by the injury.
The pause.
Credit to both of them for going on with it. Credit to Edge for
doing enough
to do stuff to distract the camera. Speaking of things to distract the camera,
you all right, girl?
Credit to Miz, Snoop Dogg, and Ref Jessica Carr for being absolute pros and working through that moment on the fly. I mean, Miz, he's a pro. That's what he does. Jessica Carr, she's connected to Gorilla. That she is great at what she does. Credit to fucking Snoop for doing that on the fly too. But yeah, I think those are definitely the top 5, Mike.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
What about the? Oh, go ahead.
I need to put a big claim like that. I need to detach myself from it.
Yeah. I need a month or 2 to rewatch it
this summer.
Yeah. This is one of those where I kind of have to like.
It was really good.
I'll say this though, these last 3 Manias in general though, card wise, they're aging beautifully. And they're going to age well. You don't think so?
You can take, as someone who was there, you can keep last year's. You can take that motherfucker and you can keep it.
You know what last year's?
Night 1 was fantastic. Night 2 ended with a fucking 17-minute fucking Roman Brock match because someone got hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry. That aged like fucking goat cheese. That didn't age like fucking anything that I want to actually fucking be involved with. Because at the end of the day, the final, like, if you're looking at WrestleMania, it's always what is the closing moment. The closing moment is Roman Reigns not being able to lift his left shoulder past about here because it was probably popped out of socket Literally, this moment with Cody and Roman was bigger than that. The year before with Roman winning was bigger than him beating Brock at Jerry World. I'll go on record and say, out of the 11 or 12 we've been to, yeah, it's probably in my top 3 for sure of the ones that we've been to.
I mean, this one or one last year?
This one.
Okay.
Last year, I don't know if it cracks my top 5.
Okay.
Just because
in recency bias, I mean, I'm not sitting here saying it wasn't good, but I need to
have time away from it first.
Yeah,
cook
you gotta let it marinate for more than 4 days before you can sit here and make declarations that it's the greatest of all time.
It's like, I mean, just looking up and down the card here, like, we need to be honest about the fact that the 6-woman tag wasn't that great. It was not that great, and the wrong team won.
I think that's the risk also doing it 2 nights, is that the night ones have been so good.
Here's the thing. If this was a one night show, half of these matches don't exist.
Yeah,
right.
you're cutting fat. And you lose importance of, I mean, quite frankly, I think you lose some of the importance of Rhea Charlotte. I think you definitely lose some of the importance of KO and Sammy. Like, I was anti 2-night WrestleMania.
I think you actually lose more on the even more time in the IC title match if it's a one night show.
You absolutely do.
Yeah,
you absolutely do. I was very anti 2-night WrestleMania, and I'm to the point where I hope they never go back.
Don't worry, as someone who buys tickets to them, I was very anti fucking 2-night too, because that was 2 nights that I was buying tickets for, and literally, if we go back to one night, I don't know that I'm fucking like.
Also,
fucking ready for it.
Not counting 2021 because you were at half capacity or partial capacity, but the last 2 years, they've set all-time records for WrestleMania. So they are never going back. I'll tell you that. I'll guarantee you that right now. And Nick Khan even said it on one of his interviews this past weekend. He said, we can sell double the tickets.
160,000 fans is better than 95,000 fans.
Every single time.
Even if those 35,000 fans buy $20 tickets each. Cha-ching.
Yeah, it's they're printing money. The women's showcase was bad.
Honestly, here you go. Hot take. And I'll be the one. Again, send the hate tweets at They Call Me Burn. Aside from the entrance to Bianca Belair, Asuka, I gave less than 0 fucks about that match.
I felt like that was a match that missed
it missed so bad.
Definitely Bianca's worst WrestleMania match, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, she's.
I'm sorry. Literally, her first fucking one was Sasha Banks, and her one last year was whom?
Becky.
Okay, let's be real here.
Yeah, I felt like it was fine, but it felt like a Raw match. Like it just feel like it did not hit that WrestleMania gear for me.
I thought the ending was okay though, but I thought the for the first
I
10 minutes was like,
think that they found a way to fuck Asuka up again.
I mean, 04, right? 04 Mania now.
Oh, for her life.
She's 0-6 at Mania, but again, Shawn Michaels was 5-11 at WrestleMania.
I mean,
WrestleMania.
But my point is, why is somebody that's 3-0 at WrestleMania and women's title matches, like, why are we hyping that up? Like Bianca in the press conference, like, it's 3 in a row. It's 3. Like, all right, Undertaker. Like, I don't need video packages because you've won 3 fucking title matches at WrestleMania. Like, at the end of the day, her leaving with the title pissed me off more than Roman Reigns leaving with the title. How about that?
I feel like you dislike Bianca Belair more than you dislike Roman Reigns.
No, because this is the John Cena argument from however many years ago. They're shoving him down our throat. Turn him heel. They never will. Bianca Belair should have been a heel halfway through this fucking title run.
I think it's coming soon.
You're waiting too long. At this point, is anyone going to give a fuck when she turns heel?
They absolutely will.
That's all time.
I mean,
I share.
Time.
No, I
no, so I, for
I share what you're
days.
saying there. I share your thing here. I just think she still has meat in the bone. But I think it's time. They got to turn with
meat on the
air.
bone. Is she going to hold the title for 1,000 days, and we're going to have this conversation again in 2 years whenever she's coming up to 1,000? Because literally, who's going to beat her?
Rhea?
Well, when she drops the SmackDown title to whoever wins Money in the Bank, whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Maybe they unify the titles. Oh God, don't do that.
Yeah, let's just unify everything.
Money in the Bank winner do it.
I mean,
who's next in line? I mean,
who the fuck do you think's walking out with that?
I
think next in line is Asuka again. I think she's going to beat Asuka again at Backlash. I think. I mean, I said I would have rather of Asuka won and used the mist and become the heel out of this, and push that into the summer to let them have the big blow up match at SummerSlam. But now Asuka's lost all of her traction to me. I don't think Asuka's a viable opponent anymore.
So this builds a question now. Who's the next person in line? Do you dust off Bailey again? Do you dust off Becky again? Do you go?
I mean, do you dust off someone who
don't do Bailey again or Becky again?
No.
I'll tell you that now.
And personally, I don't think Bailey's going to be there for a little while. So, just my personal guess.
Okay.
Don't have any information on that. But why the fuck would you cut her from the Damage Control segment when they went and fought for the number one?
Let's touch on that real quick. The Damage Control. Like, this is over now, right? I mean, at this point, they lose on Saturday, lose on Monday.
That faction's cooked, man.
Okay, you blow it up. What do you do with it?
Do with what? The
three of them.
They're so talented. They're so talented. I don't know.
Honestly, if Dakota Kai is not even in WWE, I couldn't care. She is one of the most non-believable superstars I can think of since I've started doing 3CT.
Io is the one that's really the talent.
Io is a star. She could be the next. She could make her way through this summer, win Money in the Bank, and cash in for the women's title. As far as I'm concerned,
somebody have a piece of paper that I can put notes. I just want to know when Dakota Kai pissed in fucking Jim's Wheaties.
Dude, she weighs 60 pounds soaking wet. Nothing.
So does Little Liv.
Is it the accent?
It's Little Liv.
No. Little Liv is thicker than Dakota Kai.
But Little Liv was booked as someone who was basically thrown around like a rag doll. We were supposed to believe that Sailor Moon Sasha Banks, who pretty much weighs the same amount as Dakota Kai does. I mean,
you're talking to a guy that's a big Sasha Banks fan, so sure.
I mean, I'm just saying, like, if
out of the four women, the four horsewomen, Sasha was my least favorite. So you're not talking to a guy.
I know I'm not. I'm just saying when we're comparing 65-pound children with a brick in their pocket.
I have never watched a Dakota Kai match and been like, yeah, that makes sense that she's kicking ass.
That's why I was hoping the tag team.
I don't know that NXT match with Tegan Knox is on a different level, but
no, she has done less than zero for me.
So we know our top girl. We know our top ladies are Rhea, Charlotte. Obviously Bianca. Asuka,
but do we know it's Charlotte since she's taking another fucking vacation?
She's banging her husband again. I know, but
but her last vacation was from May to fucking December. Like, can we just almost say that she's basically part-time now?
She is part-time.
Okay,
absolutely.
So then you can't put her in your top women's list. She's not there.
So who do you see below them are potential suitors to chase Bianca for a title to be in the picture?
Like, I mean, if she's gonna say a face, it's Io Sky, it's Bailey. Those are the only two that make sense. If she goes heel, you could put a Raquel Rodriguez on Raw and let her fight for the title. No problem. You could put, Liv Morgan on Raw against heel fucking Bianca Belair, and it makes sense. Sure. But I just don't necessarily know that that's what they're gonna do. I think that she stays a face because, the music's catchy. Everyone likes to watch her twirl her hair, and they get along with the situation. It's this kind of the same thing with Cena. We can sell a jillion T-shirts, a la the one that Jim's wearing right now. G.I. Joe's.
It is the best word. One of the best word shirts I've ever owned.
Yeah. So literally, the fact that John Cena didn't get turned heel is because they're printing money the same way that they're printing money with people falling in love with Bianca Belair. That's why I compared her to John Cena. They're going to wait too damn long, and then whenever inevitably it happens, it's going to be, oh.
I honestly think she'll get turned heel when this title reign ends.
Sure. whenever that is.
And the thing is, that there's a precedent.
Money in the Bank.
She was a heel in NXT. There's a precedent. So you can
I
use
think
that.
Money in the Bank's honestly your best bet because, like, sitting here right now, you don't have you can't look at somebody and go, yeah, definitely.
No.
So Money in the Bank's the best way to do it.
I truly felt Asuka was the one that was, yeah, definitely, especially because the character change, the new paint, all of it. I thought that made the most sense. And even if Asuka only held the title for
a
month or two, I just thought it made perfect sense. And then they decided to do that, and then
the minute that
the match it never got out of third
out with the dance team, to me, should have been, it was like this. It was like, nope, this one's over.
Oh, trust me. The minute it happened, I looked at Joe and I was just like,
"Well, we got to."
I just sighed. All I did was, he goes, "Really, you think so?" And I go, "I never needed you at all."
Without a doubt.
Yeah. It's the same way that I was the idiot for fucking falling for the fucking trap. WWE will never let people go home happy 2 nights in a row. The minute that the fans got what they wanted in night 1, I should have fucking known night 2 was going to go the way that it did.
By the way, next 3 PLE is going to be all international. Puerto Rico,
yes,
England, and
Saudi Arabia.
Thank you. King of the Ring.
I literally just I looked at Joe and I said, I should have fucking known it was coming. Last year they gave us the fucking happy.
On 37, they did Bianca and Roman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not a happy ending at the end. Austin and Roman. Not a happy ending, really. This year.
Wait. The best you talk to, because there's some people I know.
No. Here's the thing: the face wins one night,
right?
The heel wins the other night. Whether you're a fan of Roman Reigns or not is irrelevant to the situation.
Right.
Good guy, bad guy. They never let 2 good guys win.
Let me just say
the main event both nights.
In the Christian household, Roman winning every year.
Sure.
The wife is happy.
Because your fucking nuts are in your wife's purse. We know. We get it. It is what it is. Just go ahead and just hand her over as a gift to the tribal chief. She'll appreciate it. He'll appreciate it. Everyone will be appreciated.
I feel like now I would need to go back and watch.
Pandemic was the one, but I don't necessarily think that you can count Pandemic because I think everybody was just
no.
Well, I mean, Drew was a face.
You can't use empty arena / Thunderdome shows as a barometer of anything.
No, because the main event of night 1 was the Boneyard match, and the night 2 was Drew getting his crowning moment.
Yeah,
a cinematic match that will never happen again, and Drew McIntyre's crowning moment.
Yeah, I mean, just in general, like those shows, like it was a weird time vacuum. I would need to go back and watch last year's because I can't remember how the crowd on TV like reacted
to Roman winning. I don't think anyone was surprised. I think everybody thought it was coming.
Oh yeah,
like I feel like 37, like when he beat
Edge and
Daniel Bryan. I feel like there felt like, to me at least watching it felt like there was at least a fairly decent positive reaction to it. Now again, if that came across differently in-house, I don't know.
What I will say is I think it was more people truly thought Bryan or Edge were going to walk out and Roman just wasn't going to eat the fall. And when he won, it was just kind of like, oh, shit, all right, cool. Like, it was like honestly, I think the moment that like hitting both of them with the spear and stacking them on top of each other and pinning both of them, like, I think people more popped for that being the close of the show rather than like him actually winning. The fact that like he stacked both of them on top of each other. Because I truly believe there was a lot of people in that audience that wanted Daniel Bryan to win, not knowing that fucking 45 days later he'd be wrestling in Tony Khan Presents Wrestling.
Yeah, I also think we were early enough in the Roman run that people were still okay with it. I think what went wrong with this one, quote unquote wrong, because they weren't going to be wrong to me either way.
Sure.
And maybe this is where I'll kind of wrap up the WrestleMania talk, because this is obviously the most impactful thing, I think.
We didn't get to talk about the tag title match.
Yes.
Banger.
So with the thing that they did quote unquote wrong this year, if you want to call it that,
sure,
is it felt like a slam dunk. It felt like this was the first time, I think, in this run where it really felt like this is 100% happening, or at least like 90% happening.
I mean, the entire
I think
thing.
the majority of people went into Sunday night thinking Roman is losing. Cody's going to finish the story. And it would have been a great moment.
I would say it was 70-30.
I gotta be honest with you, the Usos losing on Saturday actually put more down Cody winning for me on Sunday.
See, I think vice versa was the way that most of the mainstream audience saw it. Roman is going to lose because of the cracks in the foundation and the bloodline.
Right. It felt as we were getting to the show, and as the main event was about to start, I said, ref bump, Usos come out, Zayn and Owens take out Solo and Jimmy, leaving Jay there to be the person that's supposed to help Roman, a la what Solo did. And rather than helping him, Jay just looks up and goes, "Do it yourself," and rolls out of the ring and just walks away. And that leads to Cody hitting Crossroads and winning the match. Because he doesn't technically cost Roman, but he doesn't really do anything to help Roman.
Right.
Was what I said to Joe as the video package was being played out. Then Solo comes out. They throw Solo out. Then the Sammy Uso Owens thing happens. They brawl to the back. And I looked at Joe like as it was happening, and I just kind of was like, they're about to fucking do this. Because I knew that there would be so much commotion going on that Heyman would do something, Solo, somebody. Like it just felt like it was gonna happen. And sure as shit, it ended up happening.
Yeah.
And I told Joe, I said, here's truthfully, if Solo would have came out and did the move, Roman hits the super spear, and Cody kicks out at 2, they have me for the rest of the match. I truly never believed that any fall leading up to the final spear was going to end the match. I never believed any of those false finishes because I felt the Uso, Sammy, and Kevin thing was going to happen in this match. So until that happened, all of the pinfalls, all of the submission moves, I wasn't one of those fans that was jumping up out of my seat going, "Oh God, yeah. Oh, I thought he had him that time." It never hooked me the way I know that it has hooked other people. Mm-hmm. The match itself was perfection. I'm not taking anything away from the match. But as the wrestling fan that like I want to be hooked, if Cody kicks out of that spear and they do 2 more false finishes and Roman hits another fucking super spear and he wins the match, I think when it was all said and done, I would have felt better about it. To me, I never got hooked to being like, Cody's got a shot to win this. Like it never grasped me that way because I felt the interference was coming. It just kind of was like, oh, well, shit. I thought we were kicking it into fucking overdrive now. Not, fuck, it's over.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't want to take anything away from the match. I truly don't, because it was perfection. I'm not denying that. I will never deny that. It will probably end up in my top 5. I don't necessarily know that it'll be number 1 of my match of the year because I enjoyed Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against the Usos more, but I think it's because I like tag team wrestling and that it is what it is to me. That match was from adrenaline in my soul, something Cody Rhodes, to him sitting in the ring looking like John Cena sitting on the stage at WrestleMania. What was it? 33 or whatever it was, 32. 2012,
28,
2014, whatever year it was, when he was literally sitting on the stage dejected. I loved every part of it. I'm not happy that Cody didn't walk out of SoFi Stadium as a champion. I'll say it here on the show. I said it on last week's show after getting my flight rebooked. He should have walked out with the title. It's my personal opinion. 1,000 days is cool and all, but I truly don't. And yes, Cody can now run the gamut to get back there. I don't know that he ever has a hotter moment than he did walking into SoFi, the whoa, to handing the belt to fucking Brody Lee's son. I don't necessarily know that he gets, like, he'll get back up there. I ain't saying that he ain't going to get up there, but I don't know if he gets back to that. And that's the concern for me.
Perhaps. I mean,
time will tell. I'm not going to sit here and just wave the white flag and say I surrender and, and I'm not going to care anymore. I think I care too much about it to say that. It's just one of those. I want Cody to be at the highest level that he can be for as long as he can be, because I truly feel like a lot of people take his early run / Stardust shit for granted of how entertaining he truly was in a WWE ring. So it's just one of those where I hope they prove me wrong. I truly do. I hope he gets to a higher point than what he was at walking into SoFi Stadium. Is it SummerSlam? Is it next year's WrestleMania? I don't know. We're going to fucking watch it. We're going to enjoy the ride either way. We're going to talk about it on this show. It is what it is. Anyone have any?
No, I think in terms of the storyline, I Joe said it best on the reaction podcast, specifically on after night 2. Like he said, he's back to being that fan, just enjoying wrestling as a fan. I'm there also too. I was telling Jim before the show started, like I'm at a point where I was not at 9 years old, watching the Mega Powers disintegrate. I'm at a point now. I'm just taking the story in as a fan. I'm done analyzing where it's going to go next. There's so much legs to this thing, so much meat in this bone. I'm just writing myself to the story at this point. Let it take where it goes.
Well, I hope they make a decision on which way it's going, so we have something to talk about. Because if neither one of you is actually going to sit here and analyze it, then we're not going to talk about Roman Reigns for a while.
No, I got you saying no. But my point is that I'm just enjoying it. I'm
sure, and enjoying it is the goal,
right?
But inevitably, the conversation does have to occur.
Of course.
Where do you go from here? And I posed the question to Joe Sunday night, and he said what he said. And I posed it to him this way on Monday. Which way do you go from here? You don't want to say which way WWE goes because you don't want to get yourself, as Jim so elegantly put earlier, you don't want to put yourself in a vacuum and be like, oh, well, because I thought that it was going to go this way and it did, and I'm going to be pissed off about it, because that's what wrestling fans do about announcements and shit like that. Honestly, the Tony Khan announcement from yesterday, everybody thought he was going to announce another title belt and that they're going to fucking England. Cool for them. What route do you go? Because I've said to Joe, you don't need him on Backlash. You don't need him at King or Queen of the Ring, even though he probably ends up there because a Saudi Arabia paycheck's a good thing to have for a 38-year-old who's just getting older. And you really don't need him at Money in the Bank because that bitch is already sold out because London is fucking full of fucking people that just want to watch wrestling. So do you even have him on a PLE until SummerSlam?
He's going to be in Saudi.
He's going to be in Saudi, definitely.
Oh, I mean, I agree. I think he's going to be in Saudi Arabia. That's what I told Joe. And here's the thing. Let him beat somebody like fucking Pat McAfee.
Yeah.
Just show
up. He ain't got to fucking go out there and have a fucking war with Seth Rollins or Gunther or Drew McIntyre or Sheamus, which is a name that Joe threw out there. Let Sheamus lose to him. Sheamus hasn't had a fucking world title match in 7 years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, honestly, with it being King and Queen of the Ring, that tournament should be taking the priority of the Saudi Arabia show.
It should, yeah, absolutely.
So do you really need Roman Reigns? I mean, I said this. I mean, if you're going to put Roman Reigns on a show between now and SummerSlam, put him in a 6-man tag match. Let it be Cody in the fucking... This is before the Brock Lesnar situation, so please take that with a grain of salt. I said let it be Kevin, Sammy, and Cody versus the Usos and Roman, or the Usos and Solo at Backlash. But obviously that's not the route we're going now because I think we're obviously getting Brock and Cody. So not at Backlash, but I don't think that Cody's going to be...
How do you feel about that? It's cool.
Here's the thing. if he's not going to fight for the title, you put him in the next biggest thing that isn't the title. And what is it? It's Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, that's easy.
I mean, honestly, because what else were you gonna do? You're gonna have him go fight Theory for the U.S. title and just take all the wind out of his fucking sail?
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna because honestly, Theory's probably your next best heel on Raw right now. Because you're not gonna. I mean, you're gonna have him fucking feud with Solo.
You can get 3-4 months out of this Brock Cody thing, right? To get you to SummerSlam, right?
Well, yeah, there's 3 shows.
I mean, here's the situation, and the more this is over the last couple of days, it's come to my attention. Me and Joe said Cody at SummerSlam probably wins the belts. It's not SummerSlam because he's going to have Brock at SummerSlam.
I think it's next year Mania. Honestly, I think they're gonna build it the way they wanted to originally.
My only problem with that then is then you start looking at the dates. Well, he's only like 60 days from beating a fucking Hogan's record. He's only 100 more days from beating like this and being in the top 2 of all time. Like, do we just keep extending Roman Reigns' title runs like we do his gray beard hair? Because like those are growing by the day. Like that.
I saw this on Twitter earlier. I was talking to.
I did too. The one where it was like however many shows he would need to catch each reign.
Yeah. So to hit 1,000 days, that gets
Backlash.
you to May 27th. They say Backlash, but I already did the math on that. May 27th is the day of King and Queens of the Ring. So Saudi Arabia is 1,000 days. Period.
Ain't losing it there.
Yeah, you're not going to lose it there. Next one to beat Pedro Morales would be 1,028 days. That is June 24th. So that puts you the one right after that. Then would be Money in the Bank. To get to Bruno's first run, which was 1,238, which would be 1,238 days. That puts you around Royal Rumble next year.
And Hogan's a little bit after that.
Hogan would be September of 2024. 1,475.
Yeah, Hogan was 4 years and a few days after that. Yep.
All right, so he's losing the title at fucking
SummerSlam
Survivor
next
Series 24.
SummerSlam
Series
24.
Fuck Hogan. That's what I'm telling you. Fuck Hogan.
Yeah.
To beat Bob Backlund, which would be 2,136 days. That is July 26th, which would be my 41st birthday.
2025, right?
2026.
Ooh, even worse. Okay.
Yeah, that would be my 41st birthday.
I think we have a better shot.
Earlier tonight, I turned 38 this year.
I feel like we have a better shot of him losing his smile like Shawn Michaels before that.
And to beat Bruno's forever run, it would be 2,804 days. That would be May 4th, 2028.
Okay, so that's 5 years from now. So he'll be like 58-year-old Roman Reigns being the Universal Champion, never losing a match. Sweet, love it.
So here's the deal. Out of those things I just listed, I think the last one that would even be in play would be 2024, the Royal Rumble one, because I think if he gets that far, I think you lose it at Mania.
So
I think is Hogan
puts him at third all time, fourth.
Is Hogan 2024 or is Hogan 2025?
Oh, it's 2024.
Hogan is September 2024.
I truly think that's in play.
I don't.
Well, there's a question. How do you line up Cody next year? I think you get rematch of Mania. So you got Brock. That'll get you a couple, 3-4 months of feuding. Who else do you get Cody to feud with? Another Seth run? Do you get another maybe Randy Orton, return Randy Orton?
Nope.
Who else? Nope. Who do you dust off? Who do you dust on the title?
You don't dust anyone off. You people want to compare him to being Rocky, that he's got to go through the mountains to get there.
Yeah.
It's Gunther.
I was gonna say that too.
You go through the 2 biggest guys on the roster.
Yeah.
You get your ass kicked. You get back up.
Love it.
Keep fucking fighting to get to fucking Roman Reigns. Here's the thing. Finish the story. Write the next chapter. Go get your ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. Win the feud. Go get the shit kicked in by fucking Gunther. Win the feud. Go win the Royal Rumble. Go fight Roman Reigns. Go win the title.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. If you go from a big ass motherfucker like Brock Lesnar to Seth Rollins, Okay, cool. He can beat guys that are his size with ease. Roman Reigns is not his size. If we're doing this, that Roman Reigns is this unbeatable champion, that he's on this podium, that he is the untouchable member of the roster, you've got to go through the biggest guys to get it. Fuck it, give me a 2-month Omos feud. How is 5'7" Cody Rhodes going to beat 7'3" Omos? He's going to have to find a way by doing the work.
Part of the reason I picked Omos to win the matches because I thought that they would set Omos up for Cody's one of the Cody options when Cody wins the title.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, put him up against every big guy that you have. So let him lose some matches, but let Brock, him win the feud.
Gunther, Omos. Who else is a big dude that we can throw in there in the mix?
Fuck, put him in the ring against Drew McIntyre.
Sheamus.
Ooh, Sheamus, yeah.
You know, put him in the ring. If Big E's ever able to make a return, put him in the ring with Big E. Put him in there with the, quote, heavyweights. Make him go out there and fucking get grinded to the mat and fucking grind and grind and grind. Because that's how you get him back to this point. You know, I was able to beat the guys that are my size. I was able to beat the Seth Rollins of the world. I was able to beat the Austin Theories of the world. I couldn't beat a guy that was bigger than me. Well, why not? Because I never challenged myself. Now I need to take the step back and work my way through the challenge. I need to go beat Drew. I need to go beat Sheamus. I need to go beat Gunther. I need to go beat Omos. I need to beat Brock. Okay, I've taken the best that all these big motherfuckers have. If I've beaten all of them, I've taken all 5 of those guys, and I've beaten every one of them. Each one of them is proven at a step of the way to give me a small piece of what I need to beat Roman Reigns. Gunther, the power. Omos, the size. Drew McIntyre, the agility. Sheamus, the speed. Brock Lesnar, the zero fucks given. Now put all of that together, come up with a game plan, and go finish the story in Philadelphia.
There it is. Forecasting and fucking fantasy booking.
No. I'm not fantasy booking anything. What I want to happen. That's what I want. And that means that if Roman Reigns goes through Sheamus and Seth again and whomever else, fine. It is what it is. Honestly, Cody Rhodes wins the title at fucking WrestleMania and somebody cashes in the next night on Monday Night Raw. It's all about the chase. It's all about the chase. Well, now he's going to go chase whoever fucking cashed in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. All right.
I just my personal opinion. What the hell do I know? No. I'm just some guy. But you guys talk for a second about something before we move to the brackets. I have to go get my wife ibuprofen.
Okay. Yeah. No, it's fine. But EJ, to your point, because I know you were talking about the like where this ranks. Like I'm keep looking up and down this card.
The event is okay.
And like. So night 1, I mean, yeah, the Fatal 4-Way Showcase match definitely exceeded expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So the 6-woman tag was the low point of
the entire weekend.
At the very least that night. I get why Ray won. I still think Dom should have won. I still think Finn should. So like to me, this was more of a I had more issue with booking decisions on this show than I did. Like match quality overall, I think was there. I think booking decisions, a few here and there, is what kind of undersold it for me. But like I said, I gotta disconnect from it.
Yeah. I agree.
To be able to kind of fully evaluate it. So to kind of put this last bow before we get to the bracket, what is your guys' grade for Mania, EJ?
I give it an A.
Give it an A, Mike.
Give it an A.
I'm gonna say A-/B+. Like, and maybe it's because I didn't get to experience the commentary and anything like that because I haven't gone back and watched the show. Because that does affect the way that it can be reviewed. Like, if Michael Cole sells something, you know, that I didn't believe, like listening to it may have made me sell for it. So
he was good. He was great. He was great.
Michael Cole, yeah, he's the great. But because again, as great as seeing live wrestling is, it's a TV show.
Yes,
correct.
Like we've been there in the building. We've seen when the lights go out. It's not that dark when you're actually in the building.
You want to know how you want to know all those boos that you guys heard every time? randomly in a match. You want to know what it was for?
Beach balls.
No. The boo was because literally they took the fucking feed off of the fucking scoreboard. Literally, the crowd was booing at certain points during certain matches because they took the fucking video feed down. Because it was lagging on the fucking scoreboard.
Oh, okay.
It was literally behind. So it was like they were plugging the WWE Network feed or the Peacock feed up. And it was like, you could hear them bang the mat for like 1, 2, and you'd hear the kick out. And you'd look up. And like, as you look up, it's like the hand's coming down for 2.
Oof.
It's
Yeah.
like, wow, hello delay.
Yeah, that's not great.
So literally, they were messing with it like all day, Saturday and Sunday. So every time that it went down, it was the fans booing because they were taking it down to work on it. I just laughed the whole fucking time.
But yeah, I'd go A-. Like it was good to me. I'm gonna get like it's nitpicky on some booking decisions.
Yeah.
Six
For
woman
the-
tag match.
But for the most part,
Domin.
I think
Fucking
everybody brought it. I mean, I get why Ray won. I
I do too. How do you have him lose when he's going into the Hall of Fame? Like really?
And the intro too, man. That entrance was
No,
fucking dope as fuck.
both their intros were great.
Oh, they were
How-
great. Yeah.
How do you
Dom's is arguably, in my opinion, the best WrestleMania entrance of all time. That was so goddamn.
Wow, that high, huh?
It was that good. Like, dude, come on, coming out in the fucking prison car, the teardrop. He's
Yeah.
got the mask. He does his dad's fucking Halloween Havoc attire. Come on, it was so good. It was.
Oh, for sure, it was great.
It's unbelievable. All right, but Mike, let's head to your bracket. Let's close this thing out because I know we missed out on closing it out last week.
Thanks, Delta.
Motherfuckers.
All right, so we'll start in the upper left-hand side of the bracket. We are in the Sweet 16 first matchup. We'll just do this the way that we did it 2 weeks ago. Jim and Ernest, you'll vote. If it's a tie, I'll break the tie.
Okay.
First off, WrestleMania 5, Savage Hogan, obviously, taking on the WrestleMania 37 Night 2 main event, which was Roman Reigns versus Edge versus Daniel Bryan.
I'm gonna surprise you. I'm gonna go 37.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and as a guy whose favorite WrestleMania of all time is 5, but that match, but that match is a letdown. That's not even the best Savage Hogan match of all time. So no.
Yeah, I think I gotta go 37 as well. Yeah, it was more the story as opposed to the match.
Right. The lead up was great.
Its opponent in the Elite Eight will either be from WrestleMania 3, it is Hogan versus Andre the Giant, or from WrestleMania 14, Stone Cold versus Shawn Michaels with Mike Tyson as the special guest enforcer.
I gotta tell you, HBK fucking. I mean, I know it wasn't the greatest match, but given the circumstances, man,
I broke my back.
I'll say this: I'm gonna go Hogan Andre because the better story within the match, given Andre's condition and all that. I'll go Hogan Andre by a smidge, just because the storytelling in that match was great.
Man, oh, that's tough. I am going to go Austin because that launched the greatest period of time, historically speaking. And
I will say too, also that match is better than people give it credit for, given the fact that Michaels was hurt.
Yeah, I give credit to
That's what I'm
Mike.
saying. I love that match actually. More than you realize.
Austin and Shawn Michaels will move on. I am picking it over Hogan Andre.
Michael.
Bottom left side of the bracket is WrestleMania 31, which the main event for that match for that night.
The heist of the century, right?
The heist of the century. And it is going up against 37 Night 1, which was Bianca Belair versus Sasha Banks in the first all-female African-American final main event. Yeah, I fucked you guys up on these. Trust me. We got to the hard part.
Yeah.
We got to the hard part of the bracket. You missed the easy stuff where it was like, you want to vote for Lawrence Taylor versus Bam Bam Bigelow
right?
or Doink versus Crush. We got through the easy stuff.
So, it's like even before the heist, though, the match was actually pretty decent. Even before the heist happened, it was a good match.
I agree.
Suplex City, bitch.
That was the birth of Suplex City, bitch.
Give me heist of the century. That was still one of the most fucking bananas thing I've ever seen. Like nobody ever thought
You never saw it coming.
At no point did you ever go,
That's
why
the
is
thing.
Why does somebody check cash in?
And
middle
that's
of
it
the
there.
It changed everything, dude.
Like while Sasha and Bianca might be a better technical match. It's
yeah,
about
that match was
it's about moments. It's about moments. And
Yeah.
again, that no one. If you take away the heist, then maybe Sasha Bianca wins this battle. But
Oh yeah, if we're just talking Brock Roman or Sasha versus Bianca, I think to me Sasha Bianca takes it easy. But that cash in that you never saw coming, and commentary was perfect with it. Commentary was great on both. But yeah, give me Heist of the Century.
Yeah, me too. Heist as well.
All right, the Heist of the Century moves on, and it will go up against in the Elite Eight, the main event from WrestleMania 26, which is
the Angle and Michaels or no?
No, 26 is Shawn versus HBK, Career versus Streak.
Yeah, Taker
versus HBK.
Yeah, and it goes up against the Iron Man match.
That's two. That's part two, right?
It's the second match.
Second match.
Streak,
right.
It's Streak versus Career, and it's WrestleMania 26 against the Iron Man match from WrestleMania 12.
Give me Taker and Michaels. This is tough. I know it's tough for you, buddy.
Look, Iron Man match goes down as one of my best Mania matches of all time, so I got to go Iron Man. I'll make Mike decide.
A lot of people think that 26 was better than 25 match. I don't know why I go that far, but
I think 25 was the better of the two matches.
Right, I think so too.
I agree.
I agree with that also too.
Moment of the retirement of Michaels,
Correct.
The closing of that match with Michaels, like just doing it,
reluctant, like fighting until he died, basically.
Crawling up Taker's body,
spitting
like
at him,
that moment,
like all of it.
It was like the end of the Flair Michaels match.
I will say I do enjoy the Iron Man match though. I watched it last year. I enjoyed it.
I love it. Like people can crap on it how they want, and it's different.
I don't hate the Iron Man match, and I'm actually going to pick it to move on because it was the first of its kind.
Yeah.
On a national like standpoint. Yeah, there was Broadways and shit like that happened. But there were points of that match that literally, and it's the same way that they did with the MJF Daniel Bryan match. Like there was like 35 minutes of action, and then there was like a solid 15 to 20 minutes of them just sitting there with a thumb up their ass. Literally. Me and Joe talked about it the other day.
Yeah.
Me and Joe talked about it the other day. You erase like the first like 10 or 12 minutes, and then like you have action, and then it's like the next like 10 or 12 minutes, and then you have action. Like if you take out those rest spots, you got a 35-minute match that's fucking fantastic. It might be one of the best in-ring matches ever. Upper right-hand side of the bracket, we have 36 Night 1 taking on WrestleMania 17. For those of you that don't know, 17 is Rock versus Stone Cold. 36 Night 1 is the AJ Styles versus Undertaker in the Boner match.
Boneyard, without question or debate.
That's hard.
That's in my
the ending. The ending though.
Period with a bullet.
So the ending of what's the other one you say?
Rock Austin.
Fucks up me.
The one where Austin goes, literally, I should have fucking Stone Cold stunned him because I knew this wasn't gonna fucking work.
Yeah, in hindsight, Austin's like, we fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up.
We fucked up.
If you're sitting here telling me that the guy who was in the main event is saying I fucked up, I can't fucking put it ahead of a top 5 fucking WrestleMania match of all time.
No, I'm gonna go Boneyard too.
Yeah, that's a fucking sweep. Like, that wasn't even close. If you would have taken 17, it was still moving on because I was taking the Boneyard match no matter what.
Metallica fanboy here. Metallica's part of that match too. Also,
shocker.
The music.
It'll take on. The main event from WrestleMania 35, which was the women's triple threat match, or the main event from WrestleMania 15, which was the first of the Rock Stone Cold matches with Mankind as the special guest referee.
And the worst of the 3 trilogy, by the way, for the record, of the Austin Rock.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely.
Go on Twitter. There's people that'll actually fucking argue that
that's stupid. It's fucking literally a mess.
Well, I'm sorry. WrestleMania 17, the match may have been great, but the fucking finish fucking dwarfed it.
Agreed.
19 was the best match because it was the fucking match that they let them fucking
agreed. Agreed.
But people don't want to fucking pick that. They want to pick 17. So
I'm a 19 over 15 and 17. I didn't really enjoy the triple threat match for the ladies. It was okay.
Here's my problem with the triple threat match for the women, and this is there. the hype from having fucking Kofi Mania happen, the crowd used all of their energy. And when you put this match at the end of a 19-hour fucking 16-degree fucking New York fucking WrestleMania, it was hard for the crowd to be fucking excited.
I agree.
They were worn out.
Oh, gassed. We were all gassed.
I'm gonna take the Austin Rock match from 15. Reluctantly, but how did they make it this far though? I'm just curious.
It beat the WrestleMania 15 beat WrestleMania 25, which was Triple H versus Randy Orton in a very fucking forgettable match.
Okay.
And 35 beat WrestleMania 6, which was
Hogan Warrior. I would put Hogan Warrior with that, me personally, but
I would have too, but I didn't get a vote because Jim and Joe both snapped fucking.
Hey, fuck you, Jim.
You know what? Oh,
you regret it now?
No.
The storytelling, the Hogan Warrior matches towards the storytelling.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. Same reason, because I don't think the 15 match was that great. I don't think the 35 match was that great. I get it was Rock and Austin's first, but I'm gonna go with the history of the moment of 35 to take it.
I'm gonna splice this episode with
I'll definitely take 35. I think it was the history portion of the night.
Right. I don't hate it.
So all right, bottom right side of the bracket, WrestleMania 19, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar in the Shooting Star Gone Wrong.
It's ready. And every time I hear that fucking match, my neck starts hurting.
It goes up against its main event from the following year's WrestleMania, Shawn Michaels, Triple H, Bowflex.
Dude, again, we can't.
You can't act like it didn't fucking exist.
No, wait, we can't. No,
threat was so good.
That triple threat match was fucking
20.
fantastic.
The answer is 20.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, it's you two, and I'm the tiebreaker.
It's 20.
I mean, it was going on
It's
no
20.
matter what.
19 was good. The move on Brock and Angle was great.
19 was fantastic.
really good.
It's one of my favorite WrestleMania main events. I had it as the 3 seed.
What would you pick it if I went the other way? What would you pick for the tiebreaker?
I probably would have went with 20.
Okay.
Because as much as you want to erase him from history, the storytelling in that match is some of the best storytelling.
Great. And then you get look again.
The moment with him and Eddie.
The moment with him and Eddie, man. Like
I watched that tonight. Actually, no.
Again, it sucks. And again, like knowing what we know now,
horrible human beings.
It's a CTE situation, and we can't erase what he did at the end of his life, but we also can't deny, if we're talking WrestleMania main events,
we're talking about the main event of the.
You just can't search his name.
Yeah, we're talking about the main event of the show, not the fact that what he did when he fucking went home.
Right.
Exactly.
Final bracket on the lower right hand side, WrestleMania 30, the culmination of the Yes Movement against arguably the funnest main event in WrestleMania history, 38 Night 1, Stone Cold Steve Austin versus Kevin Owens.
Oh God, no! God,
I just broke Jim.
Jim is broken, man. I'm gonna go Austin and KO though, just because it's more fun. Just for the fun of it. That sucks though, because I don't want to fucking shit on Daniel Bryan's parade here. Fuck, give me Austin and fuck.
Oh, he's doing the Yes Movement.
He's doing it.
Doing the Yes Movement.
It was perfect. Man, you go back and watch that fucking ending, and it was incredible.
Is it that hard actually?
Yeah, this is hard, dude. You got to remember, I was in the fucking crowd for both of these.
I know.
Never saw the Stone Cold WrestleMania match until 38 Night 1.
It's more of a. I get that.
I said this to Joe, referring to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Those are the first guys that are our guys. Ring of Honor, met him at the meet and greet, have a picture with Generico, aka Sami Zayn in his Generico mask. Have talked to both of them on multiple shows. Had a beer with Kevin Owens at a fucking show in New Orleans. Those are our guys. I feel like Brian's our guy too. So it's I got to watch the culmination of one of my favorite wrestlers growing up. Cheers. But I also got to watch that guy fucking do some shit that people told him he was never going to do again. Like literally, this will probably be one of if not the hardest picks that I'll have as a tiebreaker in this entire fucking thing. And I'm the one who seeded all of these by himself. Literally, I could have moved this so this could have been the fucking finals, and I didn't. With that being said, though, I'm gonna go with Jim. I'm going yes movement. While I loved Owens and Austin, and it was entertaining as fuck, there was also a lot of that match where it was like you could see Kevin was wearing like kid gloves because he didn't want to hurt him. So, all right, we're at the Elite Eight, left side of the bracket. WrestleMania 37, Night 2, Smash 'em, Stack 'em, Mega Blast 'em versus WrestleMania 14.
Acknowledge him. Acknowledge him. Yep.
You guys are really doing this?
Yeah. Ugh. I mean, the fact that 14 got this far, number one, it's actually amazing.
Is it though?
I mean, it was a good match. I mean, if Michaels was healthy, it'd been a great match.
I mean, you're surprised that it beat WrestleMania 3 or WrestleMania 4.
Well, 4 was
the fucking
Macho.
Tournament.
Right.
4 was a tournament. Fuck that match. It was like a 7-minute who gives a fuck.
Right.
And you guys picked it to beat 3. Literally, it had a pretty easy run to the fucking Elite 8.
I didn't pick a big 3. I picked 3.
We as a
right.
Picked it to beat WrestleMania 3.
Right.
Literally, it had the like 1 seed beating the 16 and the 9 to get to the fucking Final Four. Bottom left side, WrestleMania 31 versus WrestleMania 12. Iron Man.
Sorry,
match.
Jim.
Iron Man match v 31 was Brock versus Roman, heist of the century.
Gotta go heist, man. Gotta go heist.
Sorry, Brett.
Well, I mean, you could have picked you didn't have to say sorry, Brett, because I was going to take the heist anyways.
Yeah. No, I gotta do right.
Because here's my thing. Like I said,
it's the fucking moment.
But like I said, I couldn't pick it over the heist because at least Roman versus Brock before Seth came out, there was a shit ton of action. The birth of Suplex City, they beat the shit out of each other. There was a lot of wrestling.
That's what started. That's what started actually.
Yeah, in that match, he throws him for the first one, and he looks over the crowd. He's like, "Welcome to Suplex City, bitch."
I remember that. But then I started there. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, 31 was. I mean, that's also the first time they started counting the fucking Germans. Upper right hand side, 36 night 1 versus 35.
Boneyard.
Boneyard versus the lady.
Oh yeah, easy. Boneyard.
All right, Boneyard go.
What did Mike go?
Oh, we lost Michael.
Oh, Michael, come back in here.
I think he might have. He might have bumped his window and closed himself out. He'll be back in a second, I am sure. God, I fucking love the Boneyard.
I haven't watched that.
It holds up. It still holds up. I just watched it the other week.
Iron Man?
Well, Iron Man, yeah, he went through it, but Boneyard.
I watched it in a while. I watched it pretty much since like that year.
Boneyard's great.
Of course, it's great. They put Metallica there. Now that we're dead.
It was just perfect, and I don't think there's any better way to finish the Undertaker's career.
There he is.
Button, didn't you?
The fuck happened, buddy?
No, the whole thing just crashed. I was literally writing, and I looked up, and the whole thing was gone. I was like, "Son of a bitch!" All right, so 36 night 1 moves on. Bottom right side, 20 versus 30. Triple threat triple threat. Battle of the triple threat matches. Yes movement versus Bowflex.
Give me yes movement, baby.
I'll take yes because of the moment.
It was going to move on anyways. Like I said when I was talking about Brian. All right. Final
Four. A longer run than it probably should have.
Yeah. Final Four, 37 night 2. Smash 'em, stack 'em, Mega Blast 'em. Takes on WrestleMania 31.
Heist.
Okay.
Heist of the Century v. Smash 'em, stack 'em, Mega Blast 'em.
Heist.
Yeah.
Heist.
Yeah, that was going on no matter what, because fuck you guys. 36 night one, Boneyard versus Yes Movement.
Oh fuck!
Broken.
Like you knew this was coming. You knew we were going to get to this point.
Boneyard against Heist then?
Boneyard
Boneyard
versus Yes Movement, the
Yes
triple
Movement.
threat match with Bryan culminating, or the end of the Undertaker's career.
I'll go Boneyard just because of the moment. I guess not the moment, but more so just I don't know, Boneyard. I'll go Boneyard. It's culminating everything of Taker.
Ernest takes the boner.
Yeah.
Oh,
You should take the other ones to make Jim pick fucking more pressure on Jim. Break his fucking brain.
oh
tough,
no,
man.
I would just quit the show.
He would magically just disappear from the fucking.
Fuck it, man. Boneyard.
Yeah, it was
There we
moving on.
go.
It was moving on no matter
Okay.
what. I was taking it
Okay.
too, so you're good.
You know what? Then I changed my vote. I'll give the honor of that to at least get a vote, but Boneyard moved on.
Okay. And all right, culmination. Boneyard versus Heist of the Century.
Heist. To me, it's Heist.
This one's rough, dude. This one's real rough.
Yeah, I go Heist.
Oh my god, because like if I
Ernest,
really,
say you'll go Heist one more fucking time, dude. We get it. You're voting for the
If-
fucking Heist of the
if
Century.
man, if like gun to my head, if like I really had to put down like top Mania main events, or like top Mania like main event moments, man, like these two are gonna be in that. These are both gonna be in there.
I mean, honestly, I would say 3 out of the final 4 would probably be in my top like
Yeah,
5 because
Yeah.
the only one that wouldn't be would Smash them, Stack them, Mega Blast them, because while the match was entertaining, that moment isn't on the same level as the Yes Movement, the
Fuck
Boneyard,
no.
or the Heist. So
Fuck no.
literally, like when you're talking about WrestleMania main event moments, like it's those 3 moments. It's Hogan slamming Andre, you know.
dude, the same reason that I picked this in the first round and every round since then, I put myself back how I felt 3 years ago, how thankful I was for WrestleMania, and man, I could not have anticipated what we got. Boneyard match.
Great.
All you, Michael.
Michael.
Oh,
Right,
Hogan
this
Warrior.
is fucking hurts. It fucking hurts because they are both so good. But
They
like,
Is there a way you can put this whole thing out when he's all done? Put it out the tie brackets. I can see how we got here.
you mean like that?
I guess.
the Boneyard match, like that Mania, man, it was. I didn't realize how much I needed that WrestleMania at that point. The Boneyard man, so like that's gonna always hold a special place to me because of that.
Joe was trying to have it lose to like WrestleMania 28. He was literally trying to sell us on that match being better. You know what? And I think I'm voting this way because of the fact that we were there. And literally the crowd, nobody knew it was coming. But when that fucking music hit, we all fucking were like, holy shit. It's one of the first times Joe's ever like turned around and like basically like shoved me because he had no idea what to fucking do. Literally it's like, what do I do with my hands? Like what do I do with my hands? I will be a active proponent for my love for the Boneyard match like yours, Jim. But there's something about seeing
God,
Seth
man,
Rollins
that hits on a personal level for you.
There's just something about seeing him run to the ring with the fucking dented ass fucking briefcase.
Especially when you're there.
But even if I wasn't there, because Seth Rollins is another guy, like I saw him as Tyler Black wrestling in Ring of Honor with Jimmy Jacobs as the Age of the Fall against the Briscoe brothers, like 2 years before that. And like that moment of seeing, and another one of those, it's our guy, like seeing our guy run to the ring to fucking have that moment after the breakup of the Shield and the way that they had built him. And honestly, people lost faith in what WWE was doing with him at points with J&J Security. So to see the culmination of that on that stage. And that's the thing. We had Money in the Bank for what, like 7-8 years before that, and nobody had made it to WrestleMania. WWE had used it as an out if someone got hurt or if someone wanted to take a vacation, or they decide, okay, it's cool to have a title change at the insert show here. Like, nobody had held on to it until WrestleMania. So for them to get to WrestleMania with it, it was just like, all right, this makes perfect sense. And then he loses earlier in the night with the pop-up RKO from the stomp. Like, nobody thought that was coming. And I think that, like, the fact that they were able to pull that off as well as they did, I don't think that there's a bigger ending to a WrestleMania than that. So that's the bracket. Congratulations to the Heist of the Century. Congratulations to the Boneyard match for getting it through the first 42, I guess, main events.
Right,
Was Hogan Slaughter like out in round 1?
Early.
Okay.
Yeah, it was out early. It wasn't
super early.
We gotta be honest, it wasn't good.
It's a terrible match. Horrible match. Horrible.
Horrible human being.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible human being.
We got an Iraqi sympathizer who is a G.I. Joe, and we have a guy who hates black people.
Horrible human. Horrible human.
I gotta just cut that and make it horrible.
Horrible. Yeah, anytime you're talking about fucking Hulk Hogan, horrible, just in general.
Horrible.
All right, so Wrestlers of the Week. This is normally the part of the show where I would present to you the Wrestlers of the Month, or that's what I would have done at the beginning of the show. But you see, I don't have a list for Joe.
What happened was,
what had happened is we were gone until Tuesday morning at like 7 a.m. when we landed. And I know he worked tonight, and I sent the list super late anyways. I fucked that up. I'll be the first one to admit that. But that was because, hey, by the way, when I was getting off the show last week, I was trying to figure out if I was actually still flying to fucking California or not. So a little preoccupied. So screwed that up a little bit. Hopefully Joe will get me a list. We'll go over them on next week's show. I'll give Joe until next week to give me his list so that I can give the proper points to the people that need them. If he doesn't have me a list by Tuesday, though, I'm just going to grade them, and then we'll talk about them at the beginning of next week's show. But let's get to Wrestlers of the Week. Joe's not here. I asked him to send me a list of 2 wrestlers. I'm going to just give his 2 off rip so they don't get drafted, so that everybody makes the ample spot here. Joe's first pick is the still United States champion, Austin Theory.
Surprise.
naturally.
And his second pick is I don't know why he put her 2, but he put her 2. It's Rhea Ripley. So he has Ripples and Theory. Ernest, we will vacate the floor to you.
All right. Like I said in my tagline of knowledge, give me Roman Reigns.
All right, Jim.
Give me Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Sami and KO. I'll take the still Intercontinental Champion. Give me Gunther.
Give me she retained. I'll give Bianca Belair.
Give me and new NXT heavyweight champion Carmelo Hayes.
Mello, don't miss. You know what? And I told this to Joe, and I'm going to do this because I know that this week in wrestling is going to suck so bad. I'm going to save somebody from this week for next week because I know how bad wrestling is going to fucking be. So with that being said, I'm fucking saving the guy who I want to put here. Just know he's going to be one of my picks next week. I'll tell you guys off air because of obvious reasons. You know what? Fuck it. Give me the new. Oh, do I want to do it or do I not want to do it? Fuck. This is where I'm like.
Just do it. Just do it.
Give me the new NXT, the AEW Tag Team Champions. Give me the Revival. Give me FTR.
Nice.
I was like, do I go with them or do I go with somebody else from fucking WrestleMania? Do I go with Indy Hartwell? I'm like, fuck, what do I do?
It's a good one there.
So hard. All right. That's the wrestlers of the week. As always, we'll talk about wrestlers next week. I'll probably end up taking Indy Hartwell and the other person next week, or I'll save them for Joe whenever he doesn't know what's going on in professional wrestling.
There we go.
Ernest, plug away. Let's get out of here.
All right, you can on Twitter at E7. Check out my podcast, Wrestling Podcast. I just did a pod with your own Ryan Miller of 3CT yesterday. First time on the podcast. Great conversation about WrestleMania, wrestling as a whole.
I hope Ryan told you to shove it.
No, talk politics on there too, especially. Had a good time on that one. So yeah, check that out. That came out this morning actually. Other than that, that podcast, of course, and one. I haven't done one this week. We'll get back to that next week when the playoffs start. So,
Yeah, I haven't done a hockey show either because the Capitals.
The last couple weeks have been a blur. I've kind of let go on 5 observations as well.
Yeah, literally, like this was like the worst because I didn't have a day off for like 17 days in a row before we went. So I was like, and the Capitals suck, so I wasn't doing a hockey show.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, yeah, that's all I got, man. It's a good show today.
Jimothy.
Honorable mention in terms of wrestlers of the week to Stacy Keebler's legs because them things are still on point. She still got it. So kudos to her. But no, you can follow me at Big Jim Sports. But more importantly, at Huddle Up Podcast, Facebook, Twitter. Hit the link trees there. Make sure you're following along the show. We have another off-season episode coming out on Tuesday. So that will be the second of the episodes we put in the can on our last recording set. 3 Count Thursday. We closed out. Obviously, we talked about the WWE merger. We talked about Wrestlemania, and we closed out year 2 of Wrestler of the Year. So make sure you go check that out. We have a fun Tuesday episode. We had a great one this past week that we recorded on Saturday between NXT and WrestleMania, so that was a blast.
Stand and feel your liver.
Between Stand and Feel Your Liver and WrestleMania, so we had a blast with that one. We closed out our fast food bracket, which is a hell of a lot of fun. But we have another fun one coming. So yeah, just make sure you're following there at 3 Count Thursday, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, all of that. 3countthursday.com. And Discussions with a Nobody. The feed's been down. Well, not been down, but I just haven't recorded one in about a month, but hoping to get some content down within the next week or so. So at DWAN Pod on Twitter and Facebook.com/Discussions with a Nobody. So Kyle Nash just going full on.
Just going for it.
I do everything. Pay attention to me on the close there.
That's fine. Because I know he won't listen to the show. Don't follow Joe on Twitter. Don't do it. I know he ain't gonna listen to the show. He's not on this show. He ain't gonna listen to it. I know he's not. He's made that abundantly clear. You can follow me on Twitter at They Call Me Burn. You can follow the show at Take the Number 3 Wrestling. Sunny Days and Double Plays, the Palm Beach Baseball Podcast. Got one episode up for the preview of this season. New episode probably going up Saturday since we do not play this weekend in observance of Easter. So no games this weekend for us. So that kind of sucks because I want to play baseball. But it's all right. Other than that, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. We appreciate you guys giving us a listen. If you haven't already, like, subscribe, thumbs up, and share it with a friend. We'd like to get some more wrestling people in here. Until next week, though, for Ernest and Jim, I'm Mike. We will see you guys next week on the Take 3 Wrestling Podcast.